market structure shift, right? So change of character is spotting the first sign that price delivery and trend might be shifting. Market structure confirms that the new trend has taken control after the change of character, right? So that's what we're going to get into. You guys now know the highs and lows, so we're going to look for that. And it's going to be a super quick and simple class because today we had that happen. So I'm going to delete a couple things here, but going into today, we know that the larger time frame, we broke below the low, so meaning it wanted to continue down low to the inside weekly low. If you guys joined yesterday's class, you guys can see that we had marked up our levels, right? So we knew that this was an inside daily. I'll hide the drawings real quick. Actually, let me just I'll leave them. Let's delete them. So the reason this was inside weekly was because we closed this wick and this candle within that previous week. So we know that this here was our high of that inside weekly, right? We never wicked above it and we never wicked below that one. So we know that we're pretty much stuck inside this range of the weekly, right? So I'm going to show you guys on a smaller time frame where we had to change the character and where we had the structure shift. So this was my inside weekly low, all right? So we already had that marked up, right? You guys understand? Okay, so now let's go to the 4 real quick just to mark that up for you. So if you guys look in this range here, we saw that we broke below these lows, right? We saw that we broke below this low here and this low here, meaning the market wanted to continue lower, right? So what I was looking for a retest into this area here on the 4 hour and the 1 hour to try to short it, right? Back down to the inside weekly low. So if you guys see, we kept breaking below on the hourly. Let's just take it, right? We broke below here, then we broke this order block here, right? So this was a 1 hour low, 1 hour order block. We broke below that. So that gave me confirmation, hey, the market wants to continue down lower if this broke, and it didn't tap the inside weekly yet, right? It came to retest it. So what I waited for, knowing that we had the hourly break, I went ahead and marked it, my fibs from the high to the low here, and going over the change of character, right? You change a character. If we can look on a smaller time frame real quick, this will show you. Your change of character happened right over here, right? So your change of character happened here. Now, why is that? This was here. This was a little uptrend, went continue higher, and then it broke below the low. So the change of character broke down. It held right. It held here, then it finally broke, and then it broke below the low, causing the market structure shift to change to the downside, right? So I like to see the structure shift on the larger time frame. So really, I just want you guys to focus on structure shift of the market. Don't even worry too much of changing characters. Just focus on the structure shift. So the simple way to explain a structure shift is just the market changing the trend of the direction of the trend, right? So obviously we know it on the left side, this was just all an uptrend, right? So now that this is new price action, if we break below these lows here, this is confirmation that the market wants to continue down lower, right? So how can I piece all that together? Knowing I have my highs and lows that we learned so far, I know this was my low before. Okay, so remember the cheat code I told you guys, if the low breaks, so this is the low that broke, so we're going to pretend that one wasn't here. So this was here, right? This broke. Okay, we just follow this backwards. So we follow it back to the highest point to mark our high. So we knew that this here was our 1 hour high, right? So we know that this is our high here. So if we do come and retest, the break of this, we know what our risk to reward is. So we're going to label this here as our 1 hour high, right? So once again, I'll give you the cheat code. Why is that my high? This was the break here. So I'm just going to follow that candle back, the highest point, boom. Okay, cool. So now that I know that that was the hourly break, I'm gonna look for a retest. So for me, I'm drawing my fibs from the hourly, and I'll look for entry anywhere within this 50% optimal premium, and I'll teach you guys the fibs. But let's just say that we're taking it off the premium. We're not going to take it off the premium just yet, but we want to look for reaction within that level. So let's go ahead and break it down to the smaller time frame. So we know that the market, it actually came down to the inside weekly low and then it bounced, right? And we know if we follow the market backwards from this point, boom, 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 the highest point was here, right? We know the highest point was here, so meaning the changes, the market structure shifted to the upside now. So now the market is back bullish on the smaller time frame, but your smaller time frame is still bearish, right? Okay, so this is how you're going to piece it all together, right? We don't even need this anymore to not confuse you. This is our 1 hour premium. So just have this here. We look for reactions of these levels, right? Okay, so if we know the 5 minute broke above, but then we know we're approaching a 1 hour structured retest, what's going to take over most of the time? The larger time frame takes over, right? The larger time frame holds more value. But am I going to smack right here? No, I'm not, because I know that the 5 minute shifted. So the 5 minutes bullish. So what can this mean? If the 5 minutes bullish, that means he's going to try to go for the 15 minute high now to make the 15 minute high back bullish as well, right? And if we follow the lows, boom, 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 this is the lowest low here before we pushed up. As you guys can see, we closed below those 15 minutes in this area here, right? We closed below here on the 15 minutes. So we knew that the 5 minute went bullish here, right? We know now the 15 minute went 15 minute went bullish. So this is where you start thinking, okay, 5 minute went bullish, 15 minute went bullish. It's gonna try to make the 30 minute and the 1 hour bullish, but you approached a 1 hour rejection zone. So we're gonna look for a market structure shift to the downside since we retested a larger time frame. We're not just gonna smack there. So let's go ahead and look at the 5 minute. Okay, our low is all the way down here. Okay, let's go to the 1 minute. Let's see if we can find a setup on the 1 minute. Okay, so we know that we know that the market came, where was it? We know that the market came to the premium, right? So market came to the premium here, right, which is our larger time frame, but we're going to look for a smaller time frame shift. So okay, if we follow just off of here from the rejection, let's just follow this backwards. Where's the highest point? Okay, that didn't create new high. This is a low, but we never broke above that one. Okay, come down. Okay, we know that this low here was the last down move that broke above that high of this trend on the 5 and 15 minute, right? You guys see this candle? It broke above that high here on the 1 minute. So we know that this here is our 1 minute low. Why is this not my low? Because this low here did not create a new high for me, right? The body didn't close. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We want that low to break before we take. Okay, so the low broke, right? The low broke for me here. So for me now, the market is bearish on the 1 minute, right? Now, like if you guys looked at that earlier, I said the 216 low to break. So we know that the market is bearish. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to grab my fibs from my high, the cost to break, right? So I'll grab it from the high to the low, and I'll look for re-entry here. And then our risk to reward would essentially be let's say here, and then we can risk this high here. But then now we're shooting for the 5 minute. Remember, we're shooting as it's like a domino effect. So we know the 1 minute went bearish. We want the 5 minute to go bearish. We want the 15 minute to go back bearish because the hourly is still bearish, right? So we're pretty much going to target that 5 minute low to see if we can break below that low to make it go back bearish. So let's see on the 1 minute, right? So this is our risk to reward. It is an amazing risk to reward here. It's a 1 to 4, right? So let's see if it just broke down. You can target these lows here as well, right? Let's see, boom, boom, boom. Came down, never broke above that high, right? Never came to break above that high there, as you guys can see. Right, boom, boom, boom. And your TP1 is going to be these lows here. Boom. TP1 is going to be these lows here. And as you guys can see, when it came down to the TP1, it bounced. Why is that your TP? Because that is your last low here of this range, right? I taught you guys range. That's your last low here that created a new high within this range, right? So as you guys can see how this all plugs in together, the highs and lows in the market structure shift. You caught the retest here. Your risk reward is here. Your first TP is down this low. As you guys can see, it bounced, right? Okay. So what do you want to see happen in these type of markets and these type of market structure shifts? You want to see the trend continue to break down those lows on this downtrend so we can have repetition to continue down lower, right? In this scenario here, we know that we broke below these lows. We bounced off this one. So you could either wait for this low to break or you could have taken it here. But let's say you want to wait for confirmation. So now this 1 hour low broke here. Okay, the same 4 steps again. You have another market structure shift to the downside, right? Let's just say we take our fibs from the order block high here to the low here, and let's see what happened. Did we reject? Continue rejecting? It did. It rejected that premium. The same exact levels here rejecting. It came to reject the same strategy. The market structure is just focusing those highs and lows and waiting for those breaks and waiting for those retests to give you that entry. Do not overcomplicate market structure, okay? That simple as that is you want to see those lows break and either lows break or highs break. Now, how do we piece it all together? You guys will learn all this at the end of all the class, because you will now understand what the fibs are. I don't want to teach you fibs today, but the fibs, you will understand how they work and why I use them. So fibs is just another piece of confidence for me, where I look for a reaction in the market. So this is why I teach you guys, and I'm doing these classes like this. It's I start you guys off with the highs and lows and identifying the range, so you guys can know where the market's going to head, either to the high or to the low, and identifying your range, so you know where and how big your range is. So you know if that low breaks, you want to target your next low of the new range, right? And for example, if you come down here, I'm pretty sure we held. Yep, the 5 minute held, right? So let me show you another example. So the 5 minute held. Okay, so we know the 5 minute and 15 minute are holding. They're being stubborn to break. Okay, so what is happening with the market, you may say? Okay, so maybe the market doesn't want to continue down below that inside weekly, but now we have confluence that the 15 minute and the 5 minute low held here. So let's just see. We know that the last break of lows of trend was here, right? Because we didn't break below this low, but if we look here, this was our last low before a little push up, right? And we continue down lower. So we know that this structure shifted to the downside, right? So we know this is our high right now. So if we break above this high, that means the market wants to continue higher, okay? So we know we broke above the high. Same thing here. We'll go back to the fibs, right? You go back to the fibs when you swing low to swing high. This is where I longed it. So we tapped the 50%, right? So your market structure if shift is now bullish on a 5 minute, right? And it's still bullish on a 15 minute. So what do you want to target next? Let's see if the 30 minute went bullish as well. 30 minute went bullish. Okay, cool. So you want to now target your 1 hour high. So where's our 1 hour high we have marked up? Let's delete this again real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Our 1 hour high is up here, right? Okay. So now that we know the 5 minutes bullish, we know the 15 minutes bullish, we know the 30 minutes bullish, and we know we had a structure shift on the 5 minute, right? A 5 minute structure shift to the upside. Then we retested here. We want to look for new support within the new support of the structure shift that we just created. So what happened here? What am I looking for to continue to the upside? So the 5 minute broke here. We have an imbalance order block here. Let's see if we came back to retest that at all. Market just continued higher, but I'll show you exactly where that one was at. Off the 1 minute, where was it? Here, right? So we broke this one here, go on the 1 minute, same thing happened again. 1 second. Here, so grab it from the low to the high. Hold on, where was it? No, it has to be this one. 1 second, guys. That low there, retested. Where is the retest? Oh, okay, so we did retest. Yeah, we retested the order block on. I'm tripping out. So yeah, we retested the 5 minute and the 50%, right? So you have the confluence that your 1 minute shift, your 5 minutes are your 5 minute shift to the upside. You have your fibs, you have your order block, and then looking at your 1 minute. That's what I was trying to figure out. Looking at your 1 minute, you want to be able to see where you can go long, right? Now the thing that's confusing here is that this low here created a new high, but then we broke below it, right? So you might be like, okay, but the 1 minute shifted back down. Your 5 minutes still bullish and your 15 minutes it's still bullish as well. So now it's just about taking the risk. What's the probability of this working out? It's pretty high. Why? Because we bounced off an inside weekly low. So let's say you take entry here, right? Wrong one. Let's say we take entry here, all right, and your stop loss is just going to be this 1 minute low here, and then your take profit is going to be right back at that high, and then you can just long it from there, right? And then you long it all the way to the highs again. And it's simple as that. And then it goes to your next high here, and that's your TP. And as you can see, it's gonna go back to your hourly high, right? Let's see if it goes all the way up there. Boom. It hits your hourly high here, right? So that is how you trade with market structure shift, and simply just looking at the price action. But most importantly, you have your highs and lows already marked up. So I already had large time frame levels. So now I just wait for a reaction on these larger time frame levels. And that's how you can not predict, but know where the market's going to head, because you have these levels marked up and you wait for a structure shift. This is why you don't jump the gun and just smack at lows or just smack at highs. You want to make sure you have the extra confirmation to go long.